So it's the whole essence of find something that you love to do. And relating to this, because they're very closely linked, is focus on the direction, not the goal. So I'm 38, I plan to probably work, or at least do stuff for the next 30, 40 years. And it's because I enjoy it. And what I've tried to do with the roadmap is build a business and a career around stuff that actually I love to do. I love to talk to people. I love to use my brain. I love problem solving, that kind of thing. But the point is, if I'd started a business which was to sell plastic pens, and I did it just because I thought it would make money, I guarantee you will give up as soon as it gets tough. Because when you launch a business, as Deborah has and a lot of other people kind of have, trust me, it's a really, really tough gig that you have to be able to put your heart and soul into something and really be passionate about what it is that you're doing, and have a core belief that you can do it better than anyone else in the world, than actually that you're having an impact. And I think too many people, they focus on the revenue. So almost they think, oh yeah, I want the money. So people that have businesses seem to have loads of money, so I'm going to start a business. And then they just look to do anything which could make money, and they don't really care what it is. And basically, just as a friend, I'm saying that that is not a good thing to do. I guarantee you that starting a business is a really, really tough gig. That for one, it has to be something that you love, and arguably something that you would probably do for free, even if nobody paid you. And basically what we're doing, and we'll talk about something called Ikigai, which, as I've mentioned in the past, is that you need to basically find something, if you really want a fulfilling kind of career, that for one, people will pay you for. Because likewise, you can volunteer. If you have £10 million in the bank, you can work for free, and that's cool, but most people kind of can't. So they have to be willing to pay you for. You have to be good at it. So for instance, I can't sing at all. So if I wanted to be a professional singer, it falls down by my inability to sing. It has to be something that is valued by society and people actually kind of want. And what we're trying to do there is that if you can build your business and your career around your passions, it makes a huge, huge difference to your ability kind of to do it and to go in that direction. But one of the things that I've really found interesting is that most people are here, and they have the goal. And they say, look, I'm currently, it's, what was it, 25th of February 2022. I want to be a billionaire by 10 years' time. And the issue is that when people set fixed goals, chances are, if you know what you're doing, you know how to play the game, you know the actions that are going to get you there, at some point, you will actually get there. I'm a big boxing fan, and actually there's a guy called Tyson Fury who's world heavyweight champion. He's got a fight coming up with Dillian White, but actually when he went through his career, so as a junior amateur boxer, he was here, and he always said that he wanted to be world heavyweight champion, which was there. And he spent his entire life, so realistically probably from age 10 to I think he was 28 when he kind of became world champion, and he beat Klitschko. And Klitschko was this big Ukrainian, again, champion that was undefeated for a very long time. And what happened with Tyson Fury is that he'd built up the goal and the achievement of the goal to be his absolutely everything in life. But the issue is, after he'd done it, he actually then started to spiral into kind of a really bad depression, because he felt that his life had kind of lost some of its purpose and meaning, because he was aiming for this, he'd done it, he'd achieved it, and he didn't know what was next. And this is true in people's businesses and careers as well, that you might set a goal to do £1 million in revenue. Chances are, at some point, if you work hard, you know what you do, and you get the right business strategy, you get the product structure and stuff, you'll hit it. And then it's a case of, okay, well, what's next? And what's next? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is just because it's part of my kind of life. If you can find a goal which you can never actually achieve, Simon Sinek has different concepts and stuff about this. But likewise, so for instance, I want to make business education accessible and help as many people as I can on that kind of journey, that unless literally 8 billion people have access to the roadmap, and if they want access to business education, they can. It's a problem that I can never kind of solve. And actually for me, it's more important to focus on the direction focus on the direction, not the goal, because actually that keeps going. So for instance, when there's no end point to actually kind of get to, in theory, you should never actually have to fall off at that point through actually fulfilling your kind of goal that actually turns out isn't what you thought it was. A lot of people, I watch the Stephen Bartlett kind of podcast. Good morning, James. Yeah, a lot of people watch the kind of Stephen Bartlett podcast, and he says that when he grew up in relative poverty in different parts of kind of Manchester, he always thought, well, actually, I want to be rich and I want a Lamborghini and I want different kind of things. And actually, what's quite funny is that when you go through your career, at a certain point, if you work hard, you can get those things, which could be the £1 million or it could be the goal. And the truth is, you realize quite quick that actually it's maybe not what you thought it was. For me, I was raised by a single parent. She raised me and my brother. And actually, I've mentioned this in the past, but for me, when I grew up, we grew up relatively poor. And there was a point where I was 33, just turned 33, and I'd always set the goal to become managing director of a company. I didn't even really know what that was at the time. I just knew it was cool, and that was a personal kind of goal I set. And the other one was to buy a brand new Porsche. And part of that was because growing up, it was so out of reach that it would seem like impossible to kind of do. And what was really interesting was I went through that journey, achieved both within the same year. But actually at that point, after about 6 months, I realized it's kind of just the car. I felt happy that I'd achieved the goal, but the goal itself didn't make me happy. And one of the things that I've really kind of learned is it's how and where do you get your fulfillment from? What is it that actually kind of gets you excited? And the truth is now I kind of know in my heart is that if I had £30 million in the bank, I wouldn't be any happier. What makes me happy and fulfillment is people like James or Deborah or Simon who comment on the stream and get value in what we're trying to do. That's actually what makes me happy. So then when I'm trying to build the business and follow my own mission, I'm hopefully going to try and build something which gives value and actually brings me happiness, but it's chasing the direction, not the goal itself. Does that make sense? And it was the kind of thing that I just wanted to kind of talk about, because often it's a tricky subject that we've all been there. I've been there. In some ways, I still have crazy goals that I want to try and achieve, but I try not to be too hard on myself, but it is focused on the direction, not the goal.